now we have the same Washington knows best experts telling us that we have to pass major health care reform by next week, August 1st. Now, I want you to think about this. This is 17% of the economy, and we would put it in the hands of the federal government. It would set up a scheme where there would be a health care czar that would run and stipulate insurance policies all over the country. And in order to sell insurance in the United States of America, you would have to go through this bureaucracy and enter into an exchange. And there, inside this closed circle defined by the federal government, you would compete against a government option which would have the rules rigged in its favor. And if you as an individual did not do that, you'd have to pay a 2.5% surcharge. And if you in a small business did not offer insurance to your employees, you'd have to pay 8%. Is that the best way to get things done? A huge $1.2 trillion expense on top of the TARP bill, on top of the stimulus bill, on top of the war in Iraq, on top of all the other problems that we have. We're now going to go out and spend $1.2 trillion and tax virtually everybody in America to do it. We can also look at the Canadian or the German or the British system and see that the rationing that it leads to. And we know if you live around a border state near Canada that when they need to see a doctor, they come to the United States of America. And we have also seen in states like Massachusetts where they have a government option that it takes twice as long to see a doctor as it does in Los Angeles. We also know that this plan will do away with Medicare Advantage. I don't know if the AARP realized that when they endorsed the bill, but this not only does away with Medicare Advantage, but it cuts Medicare itself. And then between you and the doctor comes the bureaucrat. Because you don't get a second opinion under the government-run health care system. What the doctor tells you, that sticks. You can't go to 3 or 4 doctors because the bureaucrats in Washington who make the rules don't allow it. These are things that concern me. They concern Democrats and Republicans alike. Seniors and young people enter into the workforce. That's why I think we should slow this system down. And when you hear somebody say this does not require a senior citizen to have a consultant with their doctor and the government bureaucrat every 5 years on their end-of-life plan, they're wrong because that is in the bill. Every 5 years, senior citizens are supposed to report to some bureaucrat and say, here's my 5-year end-of-life plan. And as President Obama said himself, and we are going to strongly encourage hospice. But you know, I'd rather have my mom make that decision as my dad, who is now dead. I'd like to have her make that decision just as he did with his doctor, not bringing in a government bureaucrat and not having to have some sign-off by some government bureaucrat. That should scare anybody whose parents are alive or any senior citizen. Indeed, there are better ways to do this thing. Association health plans that would allow small businesses to band together and get the economies of scales that the big purchasers of insurance can get. Medical savings accounts, which would allow you to have deductibles. Many other options. We can look at them. We need the time. Let's make the time count. Let's pull Democrats and Republicans together for the best product for America. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Mr. Salazar.